That was weird. It took a while for the stream to go up. Like 30 seconds.
Welcome back.
Alright, I think it's going now.
Thank you.
Okay, unscheduled live stream. Why the hell are we doing this? We're gonna do. This is our guild run of Legendary Hound of Zoriat, which we just do Legendary Hard. We do things a little bit differently in High Lords than the traditional methods, and I know that the method that we use is used by some others, even on other servers, but I thought I'd toss up a live stream. We did a video of this method before, but we call it the hall tanking method. And that's differentiated from, like, the traditional methods are, your circle method, or the O method, and then you have the collapse method, which is also called the H method. And the hall tanking method is sort of a
They start with an
variation.
H. I can't remember what they're called.
It's a variation of
They're out of 3-barrel Colt.
the H or collapse method.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
And the boots of blessed travels.
What do those ones do?
And so, really the big difference between the hall tanking method and sort of the traditional H William first is that we're going to be tanking ZZ in the middle of the East Hall, not in the middle of the zone where she is traditionally tanked. And I'm just taking a couple of minutes to explain on the live stream what we're doing, and then I'm going to type in jobs and we'll get started. So we're going to be tanking ZZ in the middle of the East Hall, which is the long hall. And the benefit of doing it this way is that what we're going to do is we're going to have a team on each end of that East Hall. And so there'll be a team in the middle and a team out at the end of the East Hall, actually in the outer ring. The benefit of doing it this way is now you only have 2 defensive points. With the older, like, circle method, which is, and it's easy to coordinate for pugs, but the problem with that method is you leave so many gaps for trash to come into the center, and when trash gets into the center, then it really screws things up. And so, all of your different methods for Hound of Zoriat are really just designed to mitigate trash, to keep trash away from the tank and ZZ. And then the H method is a pretty solid method, but it's very intricate to coordinate. That was all. I love that method, and we used to do that method, but it's a lot of coordination, and if people get out of place, it can cause problems. And even with that method, trash tends to get closer to ZZ than you want, especially if people aren't actually out in the halls a little bit. If they back up too close to the center before they start fighting the trash. So we'll be having, after we get the initial control stones, we're going to have those teams collapse, one team in the center and one team at the end of the East Hall. Again, 2 defensive points, ZZ in the middle of that East Hall. The middle group stays there in the middle. They don't even pull trash into them. They just only fight stuff if it comes to them, and not very much stuff will come into the center on its own, so that center team, which is the west team, can be smaller than the east team. So the center or west team can be like 4 or 5 people, and then the east team is going to be like 6 or 7 people. And they're, as trash is moving around the outside, it will run into them, and they'll take it out as it gets to them. And if you ever get in a situation where you need extra stones, that east team can see the northeast and southeast corners from where they're at. So they'll be able to see when those mind flares respawn, and they can just, range it down or run over and kill it and just grab the stone and bring it in if needed. So you don't need to sort of send people out like you might traditionally with, like, the collapse method. So this hall tanking method really covers every base. It's easier to coordinate. It's more secure. It's, only 2 defensive points, and it's nice and tight. And we've been doing it this way ever since this raid went legendary. And I believe that we developed this method in High Lords because when we first started doing it this way, I scoured around. I scoured the forums, I scoured the websites, and I didn't see any other mention of people tanking ZZ in the East Hall like this. We are not recruiting, Lance, but if you are interested in running with us, if anybody is interested in running with us, I'm happy to, let you know when we have space in our raids and stuff. And we do have some public events, and there are details in the Starlana forum. We have Friday Market Death Fest, Saturday teaching raids, and we traditionally have the Tuesday Abbott Fest, but that's on hold right now. It'll come back in a couple of months. Okay, guys, I'm gonna figure out jobs here, and DJ, you said that is your charmer, right? Okay, great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to assign those East and West teams. If you're new to Hound of Zoriat, this is a raid that, like, if everything goes well, it's over in, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. It seems like the easiest thing in the world. But if it goes wrong, it seems like the biggest, giantest pain in the ass in the world. Okay, there are the jobs. Go ahead and step in, but don't move. Just doing legendary hard. Make sure you do not shoot anything in the center, like somebody did last time. I think that was a pug, though. It's very easy to accidentally do that, and if you shoot in the center, then it can aggro ZZ right over to us. Okay, we're missing Menin, El Guapo. Menin and El Guapo. So the West team is going to be... West team is going to be DJ, who's going to grab the stones and do the charming, Burrell, Romley, Menton, and Little Mama. The East team is going to be Twizzer, Rag, El Guapo, Big Shtick, Zentarius, who's going to grab the stones and pass them to DJ, and Gibbons, and then I'll do the tanking. DJ, after you get the stones and do the charming, I want you to then go to the outer hall, okay? I just want to start you as part of the West team because that way, they get another body over there. Okay, let's get our last second buffs. Remember, the center team, you guys don't fight trash unless it comes to you. Don't pull it in. Don't try to go out to the outside. Just stay in the middle where ZZ is right now, and just, again, fight trash if it comes to you. Okay, we're all here. East-West teams go. One of the nice things about Legendary is that these puppies have so many hit points that you're not going to kill them by accident. Heroic, especially by today's standards, they're so fragile. But like, I can just run in and like hit them with a spell, or I can use a ranged weapon to grab their aggro, because otherwise they tend to like run. Some of them will run out right away and you can lose them. But this way, you hit them with a spell, use a throwing weapon. I like to run around with ZZ anymore. You know, I can tank her, and I will be tanking her, but if I roll a bad save on the bees, then I'll get them. I don't have no-fill saves against the bees, and if I get bees right away before my guildies, you know, can toss me a heal or something like that, then it's problematic. So I usually like to just run her around until the charmer gets in here, and then I'll tank her proper.
East team's done. Right in the center.
Oh, we're not ready yet. The west team's not there, so just sit tight in the outer hall.
Right.
So once I see the west team coming in, then I'm going to start standing still, because I don't want these puppies running around when he's trying to charm them, because then it's going to make it harder to hit him. Okay, so he's coming in. So here I am in the middle of the east hall, and I'm going to tank ZZ right here. One dog charmed. Get ready to collapse. Everybody collapse, kill third dog. Everybody collapse, kill third dog. Once the third dog is dead, retake your positions. Good job. Okay, everybody should either be in the center or at the end of the east hall. Kill that new spawn dog in the center. Toss a couple buffs. Dogs. Really hard to target when you're tanking. There we go. Oh, very strong, full strength. And so you can actually, some groups will actually have the dogs tank the tank ZZ. And the problem with doing that is that there's a bug right now, and it's happening on Heroics too, and it's been happening ever since this went Legendary, is that the dogs, you'll see that they're not facing ZZ. Right now they are facing her, and that's what you want. But you'll see that sometimes it looks like they're attacking her, but they're not facing her. If they're not facing her, they're not doing damage to her, and you really need to watch that. And that's why you really need to have an Intimitank. You need to have somebody that can intimidate ZZ, that can grab her aggro, and that can reposition her, and then therefore reposition the puppies. And you need to keep repositioning the puppies until they're actually facing her. It's really, really important. I was in a pug a couple weeks ago, and like I don't think they even knew about that bug, and it took us forever to complete because we had a tank that couldn't reposition ZZ, the dogs weren't attacking her, and it just went on and on and on and on. Okay, so hall tanking method here. So I'm at the center of the east hall. We got the team out there. They're attacking the trash that's going around the outside. So the trash is spawning from portals on the outside, and it's going to be sort of going around in a circle, and it'll run into that east team, and they'll kill it as it comes to them. And the center team will just hang out in the center, and if anything happens to go in there, they'll kill it. Are you watching the times, DJ? Okay, cool, because I'm distracted by the live stream. So the center team there, they won't pull stuff into the center. We're at the halfway point, making good time. They're just going to kill it if it comes to them, so they won't range anything in. And so you can see we got a pretty big buffer here between me and potential trash. So this is a very, very secure method. I love it because, again, 2 defensive points. It's easier to coordinate. So when they first started, just like the traditional collapse method, so the west team went to the north corner, they killed the mind flare, grabbed the control stone, while the east team went to their north corner and killed the mind flare, grabbed the control stone. Then they both dropped due south. They're not running in a circle, they both dropped due south and went to their south corners and killed the mind flare and grabbed the control stone. And then the east team went north and stopped here, and the west team went north and parked themselves in the center. And then I brought them here to kill the third dog, because we're just charming 2 and then 2 more.
Want to grab that Guido?
What's the call that's coming in?
You can examine the puppies to see what buffs that they have. You can see how many minutes or how much time is left on their charms. If you're totally unfamiliar with this raid, ZZ can't be damaged by normal means, not until she gets about to 25% health. And the only way to damage her until then, legitimately, is to charm her dogs. But it's not a charm. It's not like you use Charm Monster on them. It's a charm it's a mechanism specific to this raid, unique to the raid, where you get these control stones from these mind flayers, which I wasn't able to show on the video because I'm tanking. And you use those control stones to charm her little puppies, and then they attack her and they damage her. And once they get her down to 25% health, which is we're almost there, then she can be damaged.
Those orbs flowing on the ground are called chaos orbs.
The magic number 67, she's at 76. When she gets to about 67,000 health, that's when she becomes vulnerable and you get DM message. So this raid, a lot of pugs just hate this raid. A lot of people avoid it like the plague because, like I said earlier, it just can go to hell so quickly. But if you do it right, if you have a solid method, you stick to a plan, it can be over so quickly, and it's just like the easiest thing in the world. She's at 69. Get ready to collapse. 67. Everybody on ZZ. As a druid, I use Word of Balance to damage her. I think it's about the only thing that I can do significant damage to her with. Great job, guys. And that's how easy Hound of Zoriat can be. Whether it's heroic or legendary, it works the same. Help yourself to the shrines in the center, folks. It's free. Like I said, this wasn't a scheduled event. We're doing our guild raid, and we thought, hey, we'll live stream it. What the hell? It's because we do a method that's a little bit different than what most people are doing this. So if you're watching the live stream right now, thanks for watching. That is going to be all for tonight. Just a quickie. Hopefully, if you have struggled with Hound of Zoriat, then you know, maybe this gives you some ideas. Maybe you'll want to try this method. Because like I said, I think it's easier to coordinate. It's more secure.
Pull the rune armor if we are getting artificers in here.
Yeah, and it just like I said, we've been doing it ever since this went legendary. So it's been over a year now. And we just love it in the High Lords. Alright, gonna end the live stream now. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks again, and I'm sure there'll be more live streams soon.